everybody, welcome to another video. This is our first reaction video, actually. And, mandtv. He's the original creator of this video. Love him. And, yeah. So, let's get started. One of my favorite PokeTubers. And I love Pokemon.
Greetings, presents Michael here, and today I'll be covering the Pokemon team.
Oh yeah, the name of the video is called My Pokemon Team in every game.
I used for my first playthrough of every mainline Pokemon game, as best as I can remember. First off are the Gen 1 games, Red, Blue, and Yellow, of which I have only...
Sorry for pausing so soon, but my team in Pokemon Blue, which I'm currently playing right now, is Ivysaur, Graveler, Ghastly, Victreebel, Parasect. So, Ivysaur, and Nidoking, yeah.
Played Yellow. This was not my first game, though. I started with Gen 3 and never went back to play the Gen 1 games until they came out on the 3DS in 2016. Yellow was my pick because it had all three starters and because Charizard could actually learn Fly. The team began as the starter Pikachu, all three fully evolved starters, Alakazam, and Tauros. I had never used all...
Oh, this is a pretty nice matchup, yeah. I think, yeah, this is actually really solid. Yeah, good choice.
Three Kanto starters on one team and thought it would be fun to do so. Then Alakazam and Tauros were picked because they're extra good in Gen 1 compared to any other generation. Psychic types are broken in Gen 1, and Alakazam is the best one besides Mewtwo. Meanwhile, Tauros, a Pokemon
The ones are, dude, freaking ghost types are so freaking broken in Gen 1. They cannot be hit by any physical attack, bro. It's so annoying.
Always liked is underwhelming in most games, but in Gen 1, it was extra powerful thanks to Gen 1 crit mechanics. The crit chance was based on the Pokemon's speed, and thanks to Tauros' speed, it crits over 20% of the time with every move. This is not how the team stays. Yellow version's starter Pikachu does not have improved stats like it does in Let's Go, meaning it became unusably weak before long. I swapped it out for Zapdos, the best electric type in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Finally, I ended up removing Venusaur and Rhydon instead.
Alright. You kind of lost me there, alright? So, Venusaur is my favorite Pokemon. He will always be my favorite Pokemon. If there is 10,000 fans of Venusaur, I am one of them. If there is one fan of Venusaur, I am him. If there are 0 fans of Venusaur, then I am dead. I love Venusaur with all my heart.
Venusaur was super useful early, but less so as the game went on. Rhydon became an excellent answer to electric, fire, and flying types that the rest of the team needed some help with. Before I move on to the next game, friendly reminder to check if you're subscribed to the channel. A lot of people watch my stuff all the time and are not.
Yeah, guys, subscribe. Wait, am I subscribed? Crap. I am not. Let me just subscribe right now. Alright, there you go.
Subscribed, and I would appreciate you subscribing. Pretty please. Next is Gen 2, and the game I played was Silver. Like with Gen 1, my first playthrough was not until it came...
Okay, so I'm trying to play all the Pokemon games in order. So I haven't really played any of the other games. I mean, I've played Pokemon Sword, Gen 9, Legends Arceus, which I don't really like Legends Arceus that much. And Pokemon Z, I've only played a little bit of. But yeah, I'm trying to play all of them in order. So yeah, really excited to see what he has.
Out on the 3DS, this time in 2017. The team was Typhlosion, Steelix, Machamp, Alakazam, Lapras, and Fearow. Since I played this game as an adult and could plan ahead of time, since it had been out for almost 2 decades at the time, I went with a team I believed was possibly the best team one could use for a Gen 2 Johto playthrough. Typhlosion is...
Yeah, I think I might choose Typhlosion as my starter for Gen 2.
Both my favorite and the best of the 3 starters. Alakazam is still good despite the psychic nerf thanks to special attacks with all the elemental punches, and Lapras is a powerful water type with ice type stab, extremely helpful for Claire and Lance. Then Rocky the Steelix, Muscle the Machamp, and Kenya the Fearow are all in-game trade/gift Pokemon, the most in-game trade Pokemon I've ever used on one team. Now are powerful on their own, but became even better since they got boosted experience. In a game with weird level curves and no modern-day experience share, that's a big deal. The only thing I disliked about this team was that the only way to get a metal coat early was on Wild Magnemite, a Pokemon that can flee. But once I got through that nightmare, this team was awesome. Next, we move forward in the generations, but back in time to Gen 3. The first Pokemon game I ever played was Pokemon.
Alright, I think I haven't played Gen 3 yet, but I think it will be like one of my favorites, because my favorite, and I know that will be my favorite throughout all my life, is probably Gen 1. But Gen 3 is probably going to be my second favorite, because it has Mudkip and Swampert, which are very good, and possibly the best water types, and I just love. My second favorite Pokemon, by the way.
Ruby. I should use this to clarify. I'm only going to cover my team for the first playthrough of a specific pair. So, I've played Sapphire, but since it's virtually identical to Ruby, I'm only covering my first Ruby team. This does not apply to enhanced versions, though I am going to cover my Emerald team. I got Ruby alongside a Game Boy Advance SP on my 9th birthday back in 2003. So, as you might imagine by my age at the time I was playing, calling this a team would be a stretch. I played most of the game only using my extremely over-leveled starter Sceptile named Blade. Once I caught Groudon, something I did by saving and resetting multiple times, a strategy I came up with by myself at age 9 that I was very proud about. I used it alongside Sceptile to help me defeat the Pokemon League. My first Kanto playthrough, Pokemon Leaf Green, went similarly. I used just my Blastoise named Squirt for everything. I cannot remember a single other Pokemon that I used even briefly. I don't even know what I used for Fly. I must have just beaten Lieutenant Surge and Erica by being extremely overleveled. Then came Pokemon Emerald, where team building finally started for me. It wasn't a complete team of 6, but I did use more than one Pokemon. Swampert, Breloom, and Torkoal comprised my first Emerald team for most of the playthrough.
That is actually a very good matchup because Swampert covers fire. Breloom is a fire-eating grass type, which is really good. And Torkoal has very high stats and covers like grass. So yeah.
Trio of Hoenn Pokemon that I was and still am quite fond of. Fun fact, I was actually able to get 2 silver symbols at the Battle Frontier with this team, at the Battle Pike and the Battle Castle.
Dang.
The fact that I did that with 3 random playthrough Pokemon as a child is a feat that I still find impressive and am still proud of to this day. Rayquaza was added to the team once I could catch it though, since, as you might imagine, discovering I could get a level 70 legendary before the league was mind-blowing and was an instant addition to the squad. Next is Gen 4. I played Diamond over Pearl, and my first team was Torterra, Staraptor, Luxray, Voltol, Dialga, and a Drifblim that eventually got replaced with Lucario due to Drift.
Alright, this is actually very similar to my team. Oh yeah, I also played Brilliant Diamond and Brilliant Diamond, which I had Torkoal, that one bird Pokemon, and Luxray. I had the top 3, and I did catch Dialga, but I didn't use that on my team because I don't really like using legendaries on my team because they're just a little bit too overpowered.
Not being.
Oh no, it's a freaky. Let me just. It's an ad. Sorry,
Dialga
guys.
And a Drifblim that eventually got replaced with Lucario due to Drifblim not being, well, good. I'm very fond of this team since it was my first balanced team of 6, even though in retrospect I can see it's super standard for a Sinnoh playthrough. If you've ever played through Sinnoh and not used a Luxray or Staraptor, who are you?
Yeah, exactly, guys. Who are you?
It's also when I started my personal trend of only using new Pokemon or new forms for my first playthrough in a new region. Next was Platinum, but I sadly cannot tell you my true first team. I lost the cartridge a few years after getting the game, and after transferring my original Diamond team to it. For all the complaints about modern Pokemon games, at least if you lose the cartridge, you don't lose all your Pokemon and save file. You have to lose your entire Switch, which would then mean losing all of your Pokemon game save files. Okay, man, I guess there's pros and cons. I don't remember anything about my first Platinum team, except I know I started with Infernape. The best I can offer you is my second Platinum team, which I know exactly what it is because the second platinum cartridge I got, I still have and I looked. That team was Torterra, Staraptor, Floatzel, Raichu, Magmortar, and Giratina. Quite a few
Okay, so a lot of people hate on Magmortar, but he's really cool, alright? He's better than Magby and Magmar, alright? And Giratina is really cool as well.
repeats from the Diamond
Don't know why he took out Luxray, though.
team, but remember, there was an entirely different team in between the two. Plus, I also think another Diamond team after I restarted it, and in that one I used Empoleon. So I had used all three starters, so I just went back to Torterra. Next was my first Johto game, Soul Silver. I used a team of Typhlosion, Golem, Ampharos, Poliwrath, Scizor, and Lugia.
Okay, I actually love this setup. Okay, so, on my original playthrough of Pokemon Blue, which, my Venusaur was way overpowered, by the way, and I reset it because I had my dad help me. So right now, I have, Graveler that I want to turn into Golem, and, that little sheep Pokemon, I just forgot his name, Scizor. So yes, I actually love this team right here. I would probably use it.
Swapped in Suicune for Poliwrath after the first
I don't agree with that, though.
league win, since it was significantly stronger. I used this team to beat Red. You may have noticed that I used legendaries a lot. I did it more when I was younger because, like, what child turns down a legendary? But I still sometimes
I do. Cough.
use them today. I know a lot of people don't because I think they're too overpowered and it makes the game too easy, which I get, and I've definitely avoided using legendaries for that very reason at times. But also, it can be kind of fun to control a deity. Moving on to Gen 5, my first Unova game was White version. My team was Samurott, Zebstrika, Conkeldurr, Crocodile, Archeops, and Ferrothor.
Okay. So, I would probably use, the starter he picked, the alligator, and the... keep forgetting their names as soon as he says them, bro. Crap. What are they again?
Or when I was younger because, like, what child turns down a legendary? But I still sometimes use them today. I know a lot of people do,
Sorry, guys.
but also it can be kind of fun to control a deity. Moving on to Gen 5, my first Unova game was White version. My team was Samurott, Zebstrika, Conkeldurr, Crocodile, Archeops, and Ferrothor.
Okay, yeah, Ferrothorn, the samurai Pokemon, and Crocodile, Crocodile, I don't know. I would probably use, let's be honest.
I'm quite fond of this team, and while none of them are top favorites for me except Zebstrika, I still harbor a soft spot for all these Pokemon, even the less popular ones like Conkeldurr. Zebstrika's the coolest one, though! Finally back on the Switch this year, baby!
So, I don't really agree with that, but hey, subscribe. He really likes zebras and Electra is his favorite type. So I can see why he would love that, yeah.
Hey, hopefully with an evolution? Probably not, but maybe some better moves? Better stats? Something? Next, I played Black 2. Not the logical sequel to White, but I had also played...
Personally, I think Onyx should get a boost and a lower evolution too, because it is just so weak, and it looks so big for a baby Pokemon.
Black after White, and I thought Black Kyurem looked cooler. I tried something new for this team, and that was using more than 6 Pokemon. I know Gary did that in the anime, and I remembered that and thought that was cool. It was tricky to do, but it was definitely an interesting experience. I rotated around Samurott, Ampharos, Crobat, Gigalith, Sawk, Zoroark, Sawsbuck, Beheeyem, Flygon, and...
Okay, so I would probably use Gigalith, Crobat, and Ampharos, pretty sure. And maybe Jigon, or this Pokemon, but I'm not too sure.
Valiant. Unfortunately, I don't know which team of 6 I used to beat the league for the first time, since the Hall of Fame only stores the most recent 10 or 20 entries, and I beat the league a lot, training Pokemon up for the Pokemon World Tournament. Then came the jump to 3D while I made the jump to college. Between X and Y, I played X. My team was Greninja, Heliolisk, Go-Goat, Charizard, the Gift Lucario, and Xerneas. With Charizard and Lucario taking...
Okay, so, personally, I don't... So, I do really controversial opinion right here. Charizard is so overrated, and Venusaur is so underrated for no reason, bro. So, yeah. The only Pokemon I would probably use in this team is Greninja, because he's really cool.
Turns Mega Evolving. Talonflame holds an honorary spot since, for some reason, I continue to use it a decent amount even after having Charizard. Oh wait, I know the reason. Because Talonflame is awesome. Also, this might appear to break the trend of only using new Pokemon in a new region, but since Charizard and Lucario could Mega Evolve, their Mega Evolutions are new forms and thus count. The most memorable thing about this team for me is that it taught me a valuable lesson. Just look stuff up. I did this thing where I was like, ooh, I'm an adult now. I'm in college. I can play through this without looking anything up, because I played a lot of Pokemon and I know what I'm doing. And then I ended up with like a level 47 Helioptile because I didn't want to look up how it evolved, and I could have Sunstoned it way earlier. Next was Omega Ruby, the appropriate choice for me since I started with Ruby. I started with Sceptile, obviously, then used Gallade, Manectric, Crobat, Gyarados, and Aggron. Every member of this team except...
Okay, I would probably use Crobat because he's like one of my favorite Pokemon. The like Steel one, and Glade, and Mega. So bad at Pokemon names. The Blade Psychic Pokemon.
Crobat could Mega Evolve, so it was really fun swapping which one of these cool Pokemon I powered up based on the specific battle, using a different one for each Elite Four member. Gallade was notable because I'd never used it on a playthrough team until now and had wanted to for a while.
Gallade.
But also it was only possible because, well, I kind of cheesed it. I had to trade a Dawnstone over from my X version because for some...
Oh my god.
Getting a slime deck in MTG Arena?
I love Magic, but I just hate ads.
From my X version because for some not logical reason, you can't get a Dawnstone until Wally gives you one right before the league. Literally. It's the last battle before the league. That's the earliest you can get a Dawnstone, which is ridiculous. Gallade is in the Hoenn Pokedex. Like, why would you not be able to get the Dawnstone until the National Dex? Next is Gen 7, and I played Pokemon Sun. This was actually the first time I ever...
Personally, I would probably do Pokemon Moon because the Legendary looks cooler. That's how I decipher which game I want to play, I'm going to be honest.
Recorded and posted to YouTube my first playthrough of a new Pokemon game. The final team of 6 I used was Decidueye, Vikavolt, Midday Lycanroc, Araquanid, Palisand, and Solgaleo. But
oh crap.
To get the Dawnstone until the National Dex. Next is Gen 7, and I played Pokemon Sun. This was actually the first time I ever recorded and posted to YouTube my first playthrough of a new Pokemon game. The final team of 6 I used was Decidueye, Vikavolt, Midday Lycanroc, Araquanid, Palisand, and Solgaleo.
Okay, so I would probably use... So my favorite bug Pokemon is probably the electric bug, this one right here. And Decidueye, and probably the Sandcastle. Those, I would probably use those. The other ones, they're alright.
But Salazzle and Hero the Shiny Gumshoes contributed a lot prior to the league.
They're also
yes,
okay, I
that's
guess.
A Shiny Gumshoes. I got a full-on
Shiny, yeah.
Less than an hour into playing the game, something that I still cannot believe happened. Another interesting thing about this team is that it has more type overlaps than I think any other team in this video. 2 ghost types and 2 bug types. So strong.
Decidueye is a ghost type? I thought it was just like a flying grass type.
Testament to how cool I think all 4 of these Pokemon are, since I normally limit type overlaps pretty strongly. Next was the enhanced version, Pokemon Ultra Sun. My final team of 6 was Incineroar, Hawlucha, Garchomp, Toxapex, Alolan Ninetales, and the MVP, Toad.
Okay. Another really
cool
overrated...
all 4 of these Pokemon are, since I normally limit type overlaps pretty strongly. Next was the enhanced version, Pokemon Ultra Sun. My final team of 6 was Incineroar, Hawlucha, Garchomp, Toxapex, Alolan Ninetales, and the MVP.
Okay. another really overpowered Pokemon, or no, a really overrated Pokemon is Garchomp. I mean, he's cool and all, just he's alright, you know. I probably wouldn't pick him, like, but yeah, he's cool, I guess, you know. He's just really, really, really overrated. And Toxapex, I really like Toxapex. Water poison types is really good, I think, and they just look cool.
Totem Vikavolt.
And Vikavolt is the best, or my favorite bug Pokemon. My second favorite bug Pokemon is probably Parasect.
I really like Vikavolt, but I extra really like Big Vikavolt. This team is honestly one of my favorites, since it was mostly made up of Pokemon that I thought were cool in previous games, but didn't have the chance to use. Then we make the jump to the most modern system, Nintendo Switch, which is where I played Let's Go Pikachu. My team was the partner Pikachu, Venusaur, Arcanine, Lapras, Mew, and Shiny Aerodactyl.
Okay, so this one is probably like the first Pokemon game I've ever played with my brother, so if I remember correctly, we had Venusaur, Charizard, and I think maybe we had also Staryu, or me. I forgot which one, the higher one. We didn't really use Pikachu, or yes, we actually did use Pikachu. I remember me and my brother were like struggling in the Thunder Gym, but then Pikachu like saved us, and then we called him the MVP. So we did use Pikachu. So 3 starters: Pikachu, Staryu, and I think maybe an Arcanine. But my dad, for some reason, caught a bunch of Mankeys. I don't know why. He just did. My dad really likes Mankeys. And I think that's all. It's still very vague. I don't know.
Unlike in Yellow version, the partner Pikachu actually stuck around due to having solid stats. Then Venusaur, Arcanine, and Lapras were a trio of awesome Kanto Pokemon that formed a Fire, Water, Grass core. Mew came from the Pokeball Plus, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to use a mythical in a playthrough. And Aerodactyl was transferred.
And my uncle, he had a Pokeball Plus, but I don't think that me and my brother ever used it.
From Pokemon Go, since I thought that would make for a really unique team. Also, it meant that I didn't have to shiny hunt it for my quest to beat all the Master Trainers with just shiny Pokemon, and considering that hunting for shiny Kabuto sprained my wrist, I think doing this actually saved me a lot of physical pain. Also, I should note that I did get a shiny Venonat before my second badge, which did not last on the team very long since Venomoth is garbage, but it was still cool. And now for the new teams. This is actually the 3rd time I've made this video, but the last time I made it was in late 2018, which meant Let's Go was the last team in that video. I've got quite a few teams to add now, the first of which being Sword. My final Sword team.
So, Pokemon Go wasn't my first Pokemon game. Pokemon Sword was, or no, Pokemon Shield was. Pokemon Shield, me and my brother played all the time, and we played it like a lot because we didn't really have other Pokemon games to play. And I remember my team having a ghost lizard. I forgot his name. Vikavolt, I'm pretty sure. And crap. I just had some. Oh yeah. The water lizard. Crap. Pretty sure. And I just can't remember.
Was Cinderace, Corviknight, Dreadnought, Amped, Toxtricity, Grapploct, and...
Oh yeah, I also had Toxtricity and Grapplonaut.
Dragapult.
Dragapult. Yeah, so Dragapult, Toxtricity, Fighting Octopus, which should be a water fighting type, but it's just a fighting type for some reason. Septile, no, not Subtitile. The water lizard and Vicavolt and one more. Come on, what was it? Oh yeah, it was also the rock bug. The rock bug. Him too. So yeah, and yeah. He's also my third favorite bug Pokemon.
But Corviknight and Grapploct were probably my favorites. I should note that there was a period of the playthrough where I ditched my starter in favor of a Grimmsnarl, just because I thought Cinderace was pretty underwhelming. Honestly, I still do. But eventually I felt bad and I brought it.
I don't like how some Pokemon just look like a certain gender. Like Jinx, Jinx. Like, and Cinderace just looks like a girl all the time, That's just what it looks like, just like a girl Pokemon. I hate when Game Freak does that because it's just so annoying.
What if 1999 got you your choice of two pizzas, Parmesan bread bites and cinnamon bread bites?
Just because I thought Cinderace was pretty underwhelming. Honestly, I still do. But eventually I felt bad and I brought it back. Dragapult was also notable because it was a very late addition and I could only evolve it right before the final battles of the game, but then it was amazing in all of those battles. Plus, it's super cool, so I was willing to make it work. Doing that actually started a recent trend where I put the pseudo-legendary on my team a lot of the times, because it's fun to have strong stuff. Next came Brilliant Diamond, and this team, and this game in general, was frustrating.
Yeah, I played this, and I really liked it.
Squad was Infernape, Roserade, Gardevoir, Gliscor, Magnezone, and Weavile. The first.
Okay, so. Oh yeah, I finally remember my first, my actual Brilliant Diamond. I had a Venusaur, which was actually really late game. A Magnezone. Crap. Turtwig, or his evolution. Crap, I forgot, man. Oh yeah, Victory Bell. Victory Bell is really cool in my opinion. Also, my third, or in grass general, it's my second favorite grass Pokemon, but probably like my fourth favorite Pokemon in general. And crap, man, I forgot. I think I used the Scorpion Bat guy, but I'm not 100% sure.
New game team of 6 I've ever used that did not have a water type. This team is frustrating not only because it struggled against the unacceptably overpowered Pokemon League, although I suppose everyone's team probably did, but also because of the Gliscor situation. I love Gliscor.
Yeah, Gliscor. He's pretty cool in my opinion.
A lot, and I was excited to use it on a new game playthrough team for the first time, since before release, I was certain Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl would have the Platinum Sinnoh-Dex. Well, that didn't happen. Instead, they kept the Sinnoh-Dex the same and had a lot of the Platinum Pokemon be available in the Grand Underground. Not all of them,
yeah,
but
they
some,
did do that, which is really
was
annoying.
one of those Pokemon. I thought I was in the clear, but then it turns out the Razor Fang, the item needed to...
That's where I got freaking Venusaur, or my Bulbasaur that,
Evolve Gligar was in the same place as it was in Diamond and Pearl, which is after the Pokemon League. I hate these games so much. I thought the Dawnstone right before the League in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was ridiculous, but this is just completely unacceptable.
I know, and Brilliant Diamond freaking had a Luxray. Yeah, Luxray. Not the freaking that Scorpion Pokemon. I had a Luxray, pretty sure. Either Luxray. Oh, no, actually, no. I had a Golem. Yes, I had a Golem. So, I had a Venusaur, Victory Bell, Golem, Turtwig, which is actually 3 grass types. This is kind of absurd. And, crap, I just named one. Oh, crap. How am I just forgetting now? Oh, yeah, Magma Zone.
No circumstance in which a Pokemon can be caught before the league that cannot be fully evolved until after. The exception of the Kanto remakes, those get a little screwy, but like the whole thing's, it's like, okay, it's just what was here, that's it. There's a version of Gen 4 Sinnoh that just doesn't have Gligar and Gliscor, and then there's a version of Gen 4 Sinnoh that does. Why did they make a version of Sinnoh where you can get Gligar but not Gliscor before the league? That's so stupid. They could have just put the Razor Fang where it wasn't Platinum. I did not just roll over and accept it, though. I had a friend trade me a Razor Fang, so I was able to have Gliscor on my first and almost certainly last Brilliant Diamond team. Sinnoh then immediately got a spectacular upgrade with Legends Arceus, though. Arceus. Like, I felt like I was having whiplash. We got some...
Legend Arceus, I hated, bro. I just didn't like it at all. And why is Paris so aggressive for no reason, bro? So aggressive.
One of the worst Pokemon games ever, and then only 2 months
Thank you, bro. I agree with you.
later, we got one of the best. My final team was Hisuian Decidueye, Luxray, Alpha Hisuian Gudra, Togekiss, Basculegion, and Mamoswine. Despite the
Okay, wait.
Sinnoh, so I was able to have Gliscor on my first and almost certainly last Brilliant Diamond team. Sinnoh then immediately got a spectacular upgrade with Legends Arceus, though. Arceus. Like, I felt like I was having whiplash. We got some of the worst Pokemon games ever, and then only 2 months later, we got one of the best.
I hated Legends Arceus. One of the worst games Pokemon ever made. I'm sorry, but it's true.
My final team was Hisuian Decidueye, Luxray, Alpha Hisuian Gudra, Togekiss, Basculegion, and Mamoswine.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I had a Goomy, because I don't like Goomy's evolved forms. They just lose all the, kind of... I just wish that Goomy stayed the, like, shape it was, but just, like, got cooler and stuff. But, his evolved forms isn't really for me. I think I had a Luxray. Oh, yeah, I did have a shiny Luxray. Yeah, a shiny Luxray. So, Goomy, shiny Luxray. I think this is UI. And... forgot. Dang. Oh, yeah, a Tangela. Or a Tangela's evolved form. And a Paris. And a Glide. Oh, wait, no. Actually, no. I'm lying. I had a Rhydon evolution, Scizor. Rhydon evolution, Scizor. Pretty sure. Dude, why am I keep forgetting, bro? Crap. Scizor. A Gliscor. Yeah, I had a Gliscor. Here, wait 1 second. We're gonna look something up. All What? Okay. Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, I had a Hisuian Cyndaquil. Hisuian, Cyndaquil. Oh, wait, no. Stop. Okay, here we go. So, what the heck? No, not legendaries. No, stop. Why is it showing me legendaries? Okay, yeah, here we go. So I had Typhlosion, Parasect, Scizor, Tangrowth, Rhyperior, a Magmortar, an Electivire, Gliscor. Pretty sure I had an Electrode. I think I did have a Magmesius for a little bit, but I think I traded them out for another Pokemon. And I think that's it. Again, oh yeah, I think I had a Goomy, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think that's all. Okay, back to the video. Sorry, guys.
In Goodra, Togekiss, Basculegion, and Mamoswine. Despite the limited number of new forms of Pokemon, I was still able to make half the team new forms or species. Plus, Togekiss and Mamoswine still felt kind of new since I'd never used them before. And while I had used Luxray, it's Luxray, so it's always cool. As you can probably tell, I'm very fond of this team. I will cherish forever the memory of actually succeeding in catching the 10 levels higher Alpha Hisuian Sliggoo, since not only was I not expecting to, but it was also extremely strong and fun to use. Then finally is, of course, Pokemon Scarlet. My final team was Quaquaval, Armarouge, Kilowattrel, Toedscruel, Revavroom, and Baxcalibur.
Okay. So, back to the, thing, because I don't remember perfectly. All Pokemon in Gen 9. No, not Gen 10. Okay. All Pokemon in Gen 9 Pokédex. I had a Meowscarada. Well, no, I got a Scuffle, but I hated how he evolved. I really like his evolution. So I traded him out. I did get a Jump Pluff, a Palmont, a Asmurl, Clossire, Smoliv. I think I did have him Amorous, but I may have changed him out. I think I did have a Breloom at one point, I'm pretty sure. Nilape I had. Surleath, a Goomy, I'm pretty sure. I'm just naming all the Pokemon that I had, not like my official team, I'm pretty sure. But I never beat this game because Mimikyu. Mimikyu is one of my favorites. Mimikyu's just cool. Testacruel or Toedscruel. I think that's it. So yeah. back to the video.
Armarouge, Kilowattrel, Toadscruel, Revavroom, and Baxcalibur. Plus Annihilate and Garganacl, who helped a lot earlier in the game. Another team of entirely new Pokemon, of which my favorites are Armarouge, which is still my favorite of the Gen 9 Pokemon, and Baxcalibur, who was both cool and was really fun to use to Dragon Dance sweep most of the league. Kind of funny how stat-boosting moves seem so useless as a kid, but in reality can make a Pokemon completely broken. So those are my teams. Let me know your favorite down in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching. With an extra special thanks to my patrons over on Patreon for helping support my channel independent of fluctuating YouTube ad rates. And if you want to help support me the same way, links in the description below. Also, if you want to check us out on my fun Pokemon.
Alright, so that's the end of the video. Shout out to mandtv. Subscribe to him. This is his original video. So yeah, shout out to him. I just hope I don't get sued or copyright striked. I don't know. I don't think that's how reactions work, but I may be completely wrong. So bye, have a good day, and yeah.